Hi, Patty. That was a really good post on Facebook.
Well, thank you.
I like thoughtful people. They're a rarity these days.
I'm really having a hard time, Edwin. I mean, like meltdown hard time. I don't understand why everybody's so hateful, you know?
It's a sad thing, but we could talk privately, I guess, and probably make somebody unhappy. They'll think we're talking about them.
Hey, Edwin. We've been good. Sing the song every night.
That is good. Is there a prosecutor on here for Elton Olive? If you are, I don't have any text share on this person. I was substituted in for Kathy Lothorpe. And so if you are the prosecutor, I would love to have somebody open text share to me.
Hello. Hey, good morning, everyone. This is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court for Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. In compliance with Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 30 related to the coronavirus, we are not conducting in-person court proceedings. We are on Zoom, and in order to comply with the Texas Open Courts Act, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube so the public may observe the proceedings going on inside a public courtroom. Would like everyone to know that this is still a court proceeding. People are expected to behave appropriately for court. That means please refrain from having moving backgrounds, being in bed, in the lavatory, being in a car, eating food, having domesticated animals, smoking. These are all things that have occurred, and we're going to ask you to behave appropriately for court. Also, please do not have bright lights from behind your head, as that shadows out your face. It makes it difficult for people to see. If you are an officer of the court, you're excused from having your camera on. Otherwise, everyone else is expected to have their camera on and them to be in the camera and not focus at a ceiling or otherwise. So, all right, I think we're good to go. We'll start with Bria Lynn Anderson. Oh, no portion of this may be copied, recorded, or broadcast. Violations are punishable by contempt of court of up to 6 months in the Tarrant County Jail and a $500 fine. All right, so Ms. Anderson, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days, and I have to decide whether to keep you in custody or release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Ms. Tillman as your attorney. So I guess, Breland, you're in custody. Ms. Tillman, you requested this hearing. For what purpose did you request this detention hearing?
Sorry, mediation was not successful, and Braylyn has requested to be placed in her aunt's home. The aunt is on Zoom with us, and she's been a 1-0. She constantly, so the prosecutor is offering DPP on this case. I think it's appropriate that Braylyn be released, at least to her aunt. She doesn't, there's too much conflict right now between Braylyn and her father. But we are asking that she be released. I believe we have a hearing on the 19th, and Mr. Lewis can give you more information.
Mr. Lewis, why didn't we give her a drug test when she came back in?
This was her, well, it's not her first referral to this department, but I don't know that I can explain why we didn't, just the fact that we didn't. I believe since she wasn't on probation and there was some discussion when she was initially detained about mediating this,
right,
they just did not.
All right. Mr. Lewis, if you can remind detention that whenever a kid has been here before, when they're referred back, the court is ordering a drug test. Okay, just, I mean, it is what it is, but if you can just remind them, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And so, all right, so Aunt, you are here?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, sir.
Or Mia Jesse. All right, so how are you related to Braylyn?
I am her aunt, her mother's sister.
Mother's sister. Okay. And do you have any other children in your home?
Yes, sir. I have a 12-year-old daughter.
Okay. That's the only one?
Yes, sir.
You understand, Braylyn has this assaultive history. This is actually her third assault case that she was brought here for. So, yes, knowing that, you're still comfortable with Braylyn to live with you?
I am fine with Braylyn living with me. I have discussed with Braylyn to live with me prior to this incident. don't know if Braylon has really opened up and really been truthful, but she just needs to be honest about what's going on.
Okay. So you didn't really answer my question. You're comfortable
Yes, sir.
with your daughter, even though this is her third assaultive case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where do you live? Like, what county do you live in?
Tarrant County,
Tarrant County. Which city?
Fort Worth.
Do you know if Braylon has a history of running away?
I'm sorry, sir.
You know if Braylon has a history of running away?
Yes, sir.
You know, or she does?
I know. Yes, sir.
Okay. So does she or does she not?
Yes.
Oh, she does. Okay.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I need to correct something that I just spoke to. A drug test was in fact done. It's simply not populating on the new version of the detention hearing report.
Okay. What was the result of the test?
Positive for THC.
Okay. So, Tania, you know she smokes weed. Are you still comfortable with her coming home with you?
Yes, sir.
You're not worried about her giving weed to your daughter?
I'm not. I have rules in my house. Braylon has stayed here before. She knows she has rules here. So I'm very comfortable. Braylon has rules here, sir.
Okay, so I'm just playing devil's advocate, but you know there's rules in
I
her dad's
understand.
house too, not to smoke weed.
Uh,
You understand
I-
that she was willing to break those rules at her dad's house. I'm a lot of my questions are focused around your daughter, right? So, I mean, you having a generous heart to allow Braylon into your home, but
mhm.
what would happen if your daughter, because of this, started running away, smoking weed, and becoming assaulted? I mean, are you willing to take that chance to have Braylon come home with you?
I think Braylon needs more structure, and I'm willing to take that chance. Yes, sir.
I agree, but okay, if you're willing to take a chance, I'm not going to second guess you as a parent. If that's, as a parent, if you feel like it's a safe environment for your daughter, then at this point, I'm going to trust you.
Yes, sir.
The last thing I want is for you to end up with a CPS investigation because you're being generous. You see where I'm going with this?
Yes, sir.
All right, so where was Braylon going to school?
Fossil Ridge High School.
Okay. And so you're going to have to re-enroll her?
Yes, sir. To my knowledge, she's still enrolled. So,
But are you going to be able to take her to that school?
yes, sir. It's just, yes, sir.
All right. Like, do you live in the Keller School District?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But she was living in Haltom City.
Yes, actually, where I'm at, I'm in Keller ISD. Is just right down the street.
Right. So, but where was she going to school before?
This year, she was going to Fossil Ridge in Haltom City, is where it's.
Also, where she goes to Haltom City? So part of Haltom's in Keller ISD. Large part of Haltom is?
It's like right connected to each other. It's.
I was unaware. All right. Well, so Miss Jessie, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and release her to you. I'm going to place her on electronic monitor. I'm also going to place her on the sweat patch. And so, Berlin, do you know what a sweat patch is?
No, sir.
Okay, sweat patch is it's like a sticker they put on your arm. It absorbs the oil coming out of your skin. And so what happens is, as if you use a controlled substance, your body processes it, comes out in the oil in your skin, and the patch collects it. We send it off to the lab, and the lab will tell us whether you use anything illegal or not. So this is a 24/7 monitoring. You can't cheat it. If you take the sticker off, it will not stick back on. It's a one-time use only. All right. So I am doing this because I do not want you to negatively influence your cousin that evidently you're going to be staying with. All right. So this is an opportunity that your aunt is stepping up to help you. Please don't burn her. All right. You're at a point now where you're running out of people that are willing to step up for you. You don't want to create a situation where you run out of options. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Berlin. All right, so next we have Terry Lee Eric.
Your Honor, this is an out of custody. At presently, I have not seen the family show yet.
Okay, let's go ahead and issue a DTA for Mr. Eric. And we'll have an in-custody detention hearing whenever we get him. All right?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. All right, Elton Olive.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I am substituting in apparently for Kathy Lothorpe, and so I have not talked to the parent on this case.
Judge Kim, did you call Del Garza?
No, not yet. That's, oh, Del Garza's been canceled. I guess he's still in custody. Is there a family to pick him up? I heard he was released.
I have a young lady here.
Yeah, Destiny De La Garza. I heard she was released.
She's right here, Judge.
Do we know what's going on with the family? I thought she was gonna be released to a family member.
She's in foster care, Judge. I'm not sure.
Okay, do we have any from the department here? You know why Stephanie, do you know why she was? Okay, we're trying to find out.
Yes, sir.
Macomber, if you can hold off, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with her.
Okay, yes, sir.
Thank you. All right, Alton Olive. All right, Mr. Olive, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm here to make a decision whether to take you into custody or to keep you in the community. If I take you into custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Youngblood has been appointed as your attorney. Mr. Youngblood is on the screen. Good morning, Mr. Youngblood.
Morning, Judge.
All right, so Alton, let's see what's going on. You are 15. Your history with the department started when you were 13 with assault, family violence, impeding breath or circulation, and a misdemeanor assault, family violence, which you got probation on the misdemeanor for. Then you are 15, you get arrested for engaging in organized crime and theft of mail, and engage in organized crime and theft of mail, and engage in organized crime. All right. So now, well, Ms. Brown, is he currently on probation?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
For the engagement in organized crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so you're on probation for a felony offense. Let's see. Back in November, there's an administrative hearing because you were violating your probation, curfew probation, leaving home without permission for hours at a time during the night, suspected drug use, and skipping school. You agreed to change your behavior and do better. You denied drug use. So 2 weeks later, we gave you a drug test and positive for marijuana. So we added drug curriculum. A week later, mom made a runaway report at 3 o'clock in the morning. If she woke up and you were not home, you returned back a few hours later. Police came to the home, and the police closed the runaway case since you were back home. The next day, mom called, said it was midnight and you were not at home. A couple of days later at 2:45, you weren't at home. On December 1st, your mom sent a screenshot to you from the assistant principal at your school saying that you're excessively absent and going to be expelled. When mom asked you about it, you said you were not at school. So 2 weeks later, gave you a drug test and positive for weed. You refused to participate in the intake for Phoenix House in Dallas. TYRC advised us that at your intake assessment and continuous drug use, you benefit from residential treatment. We've been calling your mom every week. Mom tells us that you're disrespectful, you smoke weed and not going to school. Every day you come home late. When she asks where you are, you get disrespectful. And she said you've also stolen money from her, but she did not make a police report.
Your Honor, and may I add that we did administer a drug test this morning, which returned positive for THC as well.
Oh, okay. So, Ms. Brown, I have a question. What has he done right on probation?
Well, Your Honor,
Can you name 3 things that he's done right?
no, sir, I can't. I'm sorry.
All right. Can you name 1 thing he's done right?
He's kept his meetings with me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well,
And he meets with his therapist. His therapist is also on as well.
hello, Mr. Martinez.
Hello, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Martinez, I mean, at this point, I mean, I see in here that you're recommending inpatient at QRC, but inpatient for what?
His substance abuse. He's
For marijuana?
actively using. Yes, sir. He's actively using, and he's admitted that he's not going to stop.
Right. So I've got a question. This is the first time you look familiar, but I think this is the first time we've met. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So and this is kind of an open-ended question I have for all our JPB staff and probation and everyone, and nobody can answer me. Can you point to me or refer to me any kind of study that shows that marijuana use is a disorder that can be treated successfully with a 1-year sobriety rate?
At this point in time, no, but I could research it and get back to you.
Man, if you could, because I've looked and I've asked and I've looked and I cannot find a single study, peer-reviewed study. I've seen some articles, but I haven't seen a single peer-reviewed study that shows that you can treat marijuana use in any method that has a successful 1-year sobriety rate. There's some that are counseling-based therapy, and there's a combination of 2 different therapies that result in a 1-year sobriety rate of about 28%. And that's the best possible outcome, which makes me think that marijuana use is just a choice. It's not an addiction. It's just choosing to do this, just like choosing to sneak outs, choosing to skip school, choosing to disrespect mom. And so, Mom, I think you and I are on the same page. This is not a disorder. This is an attitude problem. And you know what? You can't coach attitude, right? You just really can't. So at this point, I'm kind of hesitant, Ms. Brown, to do inpatient treatment unless somebody can show me why this is going to help. I think we need to seriously consider more of a behavioral type approach rather than a substance abuse type of approach if we're going to do that. So Ms. Brown, if you suggest and you're recommending a placement search for behavioral issues, I will defer to you. I trust you. Ms. Brown, you've been doing this for a long time. And so we'll do that. If not, then TJJD may be the only remaining option because they do have all the possible treatments. Mr. Martinez, I certainly appreciate your optimism. Until somebody can show me the science, I like science. So.
Agree, Judge. Agree.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, do you have any thoughts?
No, Your Honor, I agree with you. I believe it's more of a behavior thing as well.
Yeah, behavior and attitude.
One of my concerns was Mom just expressed to me, not only was it the marijuana use, he would use, I guess, at her home. And every time that she would come home, her home smelled like marijuana. She's even found the swishers in her home along with lighters and everything. So that was another thing.
Which is even more, it goes back to a disrespect issue.
Right.
It's not even his home. He doesn't pay the security deposit. He doesn't pay the mortgage or the rent. He doesn't pay the insurance. It's just an attitude problem. So, Mr. Olive, I'm going to go ahead and detain you, and we're going to set this. We're going to see. I'm just going to make a decision. I mean, at this point, I encourage you to be on your best behavior because that's going to make the difference between you going to TJJD or you going to a placement for behavioral therapy. All right? All right. Thank you, everyone.
Judge, could I take a moment to talk to Mr. Haynes and ask you, could you please open text share on this case for me? I think y'all thought it was Kathy Lorthorpe, but now it's me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Youngblood. All right, thank you, Mom. Well, we're going to try and get through this, but I appreciate what you're doing. I really appreciate your communicating. There's some things that you and I, nothing we can do until Ethan decides he's going to do it. All right.
Right.
So,
Right.
but
100%, Judge.
unless you engage with us and communicate with us, there's no way we can try and help him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jacoby Price.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Price, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. We have appointed Mr. Green as your attorney. So Mr. Price, I feel like I know your name.
Okay.
We've never met before. Okay. All right, Mr. Price, so you're 16 years old. And yesterday, Fort Worth PD brought you in. They're saying that a person with a weapon call, when they got there, met with victims. He was sitting on the porch, holding his head in pain. They waited for a Spanish-speaking officer to assist. And they learned that the victim's neighbor had video footage of the incident, reviewed it. In the footage, tall, thin, black male seen walking around southbound in front of the victim's driveway, walks up, produces a handgun, searches the pockets, strikes the victim on the head with a handgun, and knocked the victim down. Suspect was wearing gray sweatpants and a blue hoodie, and they ran northbound. Victim confirmed the statements as he was cleaning branches in front yard, saying they held him at gunpoint, searched his pockets, found nothing, and struck him on the left side of his head. They found an eyewitness who followed the suspect in a vehicle to a residence. Detectives went there to talk to the occupants of the location. Jacoby's grandfather opened the door, told the police the only people in there were him and his two grandsons, gave consent to speak to the grandsons, consented to search. Jacoby matched the video and eyewitness on a BB pistol located in Jacoby's closet in a shoebox. So, all right, well, Jacoby, I'm gonna let you know that I have a serious issue with kids that have guns or even BB guns that resemble real guns, because you were willing at some point to make somebody afraid that they were gonna die. And I just have a problem with kids, that behavior. Kind of glad that that guy didn't have a gun on him, because he could have turned around and shot you based on the reasonable fear and legally been justified. So at this point, good to detain you. We'll see what your behavior level's like. We're open to the idea of releasing you, since it wasn't actually a real gun, but I'm gonna be very cautious about it. I'm gonna keep you here. I'm gonna watch your behavior levels and make sure that you are not a danger to yourself or the community if I was to release you. All right. Thank you, Jacoby.
Okay.
Okay. So Macomber, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So CPS said they're gonna pick her up. So we're gonna hold off on the detention hearing today.
Okay,
And if they don't pick her up today, then we'll have the detention hearing tomorrow.
sounds great.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peyton Scott. Waiting on Peyton Scott. There we go. I guess we have a parent coming in. Wonderful. All right. So, Peyton, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm making a decision whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney, Mr. Bronson. Good to see you, Mr. Bronson. All right. Okay. So, Peyton, you're 17, you just turned 17. December, you're supposed to appear before Judge Terry for a motion of modifying your probation. You were on probation for a felony level offense. And we passed the motion to modify hearing, and we held an out of custody detention hearing. And hold on a second. Mr. Williams was on this, wait, hold on a second. December 11th, you were ordered by Judge Terry to wear sweat patch, not use drugs, complete QIRC aftercare, and be on electronic monitor until the next motion to modify hearing. On December 22nd, we collected the sweat patch, sent to the lab. It was positive for methamphetamine. So January 5th, we had another sweat patch. It was positive for methamphetamine, amphetamine, and fentanyl. All right. So during your probation, you're not following your parents' rules, you're missing appointments, fail to attend school, maintain passing grades, fail to maintain sobriety, continue to use drugs with failed UAs, leaving home without permission, in violation of the safety plan. So previous tests back in May, June, July, and October of last year, You're positive for THC, ecstasy, cocaine, opiates. You also admitted use to acid, methamphetamine, mollies, Vivarin, Adderall, fentanyl, and mushrooms. Also skipping schools. And Peyton, the fact that you're skipping school, so the three things I really have to consider is whether you're gonna, I mean, I've considered other things, but the main things for me, whether you're gonna come back to court when you're supposed to, whether you're a danger to yourself, whether you're a danger to others. The fact that you have all the street drug use makes me concerned you're a danger to yourself. The fact that you're violating the safety plan makes me concerned that you're a danger to others. And the fact that you're skipping school and not following the house rules makes me think you probably will not appear for court. So I'm going to go and detain you. I'm going to lay this out very clear for you right now. You are now 17 years old. So the law allows me to either detain you here at a juvenile facility or in the downtown jail in the adult facility, right? That depends on you. If you can be a good example to other kids here and you're a level 1 outstanding, I will let you stay here. You're kind of earning your keep. However, if you have an attitude, if you don't follow the rules, if you don't do what you're supposed to do here and your behavior level drops, probation will let me know and I will send you downtown and you stay in downtown until your case is resolved. Okay? Just laying that out for you. But right now I'm keeping you for multiple reasons. I'm letting you know, how do you stay at Kimbo or how do you go downtown? Unless you're asking me to go downtown right now, at which point I will send you to central lockup. Would you rather stay here or go downtown?
Here.
Okay, then we'll go and keep you here, but I'm expecting you to keep your behavior level up. Don't test me because there are many kids that thought that I'd give them second or third chances. I really don't. I don't play around with that. Okay. Yes, sir. Do you have a question for me or do you want to tell me something?
Can I ask my grandpa to do something for me, please?
Your grandpa? Well, sure. Well,
can you text my girlfriend, please, and tell her that I'm okay? I'm just in jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My password on my phone is 010804.
That's right. So, Grandpa, how old is this girlfriend?
What?
How old is the girlfriend?
I'm not sure exactly the range.
Oh, Grandpa, have you met her?
I've seen a picture of her. He hasn't been around her either, other than when he first met her, because he's been in home, locked down home. So it's kind of like a virtual girlfriend right now.
Okay.
Judge.
Hold on a second. I don't want you to tell me anything because I don't want to put yourself in the spot. All right. We got Mr. Williams. Are you aware of this girlfriend? Is Mr. Williams here?
No, Your Honor, I'm not. I'm not aware of a girlfriend.
Okay.
I did want to add something regarding Peyton, his last patch, which was administered. He was brought in on last night and basically say that it had been removed.
Oh, so he took off the patch too. Yeah.
The last patch, yes.
Well, I mean, so the thing is when they take off the patch, I presume he's positive for everything, but he's been positive for everything. Like, I don't know a single drug that we test that wasn't already positive. So, it's the way it is. All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. All right, Peyton. Well, please keep your behavior level up, otherwise we'll send you downtown. All right. So next we have Felicia Willingham.
Right here, Judge Kim.
Oh, thank you. Felicity, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You know, when a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. Have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. You're currently on probation for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And let's see. Ms. Castillo, did we give her a drug test? Ms. Castillo, I just saw her a minute ago. Oh, you're on mute, Ms. Castillo.
My apologies, Your Honor. I did see the chronologicals where one was requested, but it did not show if it was completed or not.
Okay. All right. Okay, so.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
A UA was conducted. She did test positive for marijuana.
Okay, so she's on probation, smoking marijuana, and now, yesterday at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 4th PD was called to domestic. When they got there, they made contact with the victim who said she got in a fight with her daughter. Said that you were a habitual runaway. In the morning, you ran away from Aunt's house, was gone for 3 hours. Aunt said you can't stay there anymore due to a fight that happened on New Year's. Called mom, said pick up Felicity. When mom got there, you're upstairs lying in the bed and told mom you're not going to go with her. Mom grabbed your leg to move it off the bed, and so you kicked mom. And you stood up and struck mom 3 times in the face and pulled a strand of mom's braided hair. Do we have a parent here? Doesn't seem like it.
No, Your Honor.
All right, officers confirmed the report with Felicity, said it was the same except that the mom who hit her first. And so you're brought here without incident. And you've been living with Aunt since released in October. All right, well, Felicity, I'm not going to release you to your mom or to your aunt because it seems like you're causing problems over there. And not only that, but you're on probation, you're smoking weed, then I'm just going to keep you here. Do you have a question for me or do you want to tell me something? If you want to tell me something, I don't think your attorney wants you to. But if you have a question, your attorney, I think, doesn't mind. Mr. Hall is your attorney, by the way. Ms. Nkoya couldn't make it. So do you have a question for me?
Yes. I was going to ask, can I at least try to finish my probation off here and then try to consider me going back to my mom and try to talk back good with her?
You're going to have to pull that mask away from your face. I can't hear you.
I was trying to see if I can finish my probation off here and to see if my mom was willing back after my probation in April was over with. Is she willing back to take me back in her home? Because before I got arrested, she told me that I could go back, and I was supposed to go back yesterday, but the police told me he was going to take me here to talk to somebody, and I'll go back home last night, but...
Yeah, I mean, your mom's the victim of this offense. Like, I'm not comfortable releasing you back to your mom. In fact, that's probably why we had you living with Aunt, because I wasn't comfortable with you living with your mom.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I told her I was trying to live with my aunt because I've been good on my probation since.
No, you haven't been good. That's the thing. You're smoking weed while you're on probation. How can you tell me you're doing good on probation?
When I came in, she told me I tested negative for everything.
You are not negative for everything. You're positive for weed.
I never
Colbert, you want to say something?
Your Honor, if I may, I apologize. The information that I just relayed to the court, just looking, that information is incorrect.
Okay.
We did request the UA, however, it has not been conducted as of yet, Your Honor.
Oh, so she's refusing the UA.
No, I took one last night.
So?
She told me I tested negative for everything, and I was like, okay, because I know I haven't smoked weed. I haven't did that since I've been over my own house. I didn't stay in my room.
All right. So, Ms. Castillo, we still don't. Can you find out and let me know?
Yes, I will, Your Honor. I would also add information to the court that 2 days prior to New Year's, there was an incident in which Felicity is alleged to have pulled a knife out on her aunt's granddaughter. Though I was on vacation, I still communicated with the aunt, had instructed her to call the police at that time. She decided to give Felicity another opportunity. Yesterday morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and informed me that Felicity was gone from the house. About an hour after she and I spoke, Felicity showed up. Felicity had no shoes on. She had very light clothing, no jacket. Apparently she was walking around the neighborhood for a number of hours with no shoes, no clothing. And mom was supposed to have taken her at that time to Cook's Children for a mental evaluation, which I believe is kind of what ensued whatever argument between mom and her at the house.
Yeah, Felicity, I think it's just you're a danger to yourself and to others if I was to release you. And so, did you have a question for me?
Yes, I was, it's from my probation officer. Because I had told her, I was like, I didn't put a knife on the granddaughter, I put a knife on
I don't want you to talk about that, right? This is not a trial. This is about me deciding whether to release you or keep you here. At this point, your aunt doesn't want you because the decisions that you made, and your mom doesn't want you at her home right now because of the decisions that you made. This is what happens in life. You make bad decisions, you have bad consequences. Right? This is where we're at, but a large part has to do with the decisions that you've made. So Felicity, let's see where we are at the next detention hearing and decide whether we have a place for you or we need to look at a placement or maybe TJJD. Okay, but ultimately it goes down to you making better decisions. Thank you, Felicity. All right, at this point, the Texas Family Code says that any court proceeding with children involving children under the age of 14 should be closed to the public. And so the remaining child is under 14 without being able to find good reason to open the hearing to the public. I'm going to discontinue the live stream. Please allow 20 seconds for the tape delay.